So Shadowlands Prepatch is out and it has revolutionised the way that levelling works in retail WoW. And this has left a lot of people curious as to what is the best way of levelling now. And while I don't claim to have an answer for this, I do hope today to provide you with some tips and tricks that I'm going to be using to making my levelling more fun, more efficient, and all round simply better. So let's dive into it. So method number one I want to show you is going to be the Blackrock Depths detention block instance. Now this is a bit of an oldie, but it has had some rather dramatic changes with the pre-patch. First of all, what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to queue for this instance from level 20 all the way up to level 50. i.e. once you've got level 20, you can do this method to get your character all the way up to level 50 without having to do anything else, which in my opinion is fantastic. Now, the method itself simply requires that you enter the instance and you use the teleporter to teleport just past the Grim Guzzler, and from there you're going to aggro the mobs on the opposite ledge, jump down below and wait for all the mobs to appear and then AoE them down. Now this is going to potentially get you the entirety of the dungeon completion experience, or if not you will simply have to just go through the doorway and kill one additional boss mob if he doesn't pull with the AoE pack. Now, all you have to do from here is kill these mobs efficiently and not die in order to get the dungeon completion, which is where the second part of the pre-patch change comes in. Because of party sync and chromie time, it is possible to bring a character who is level 50 into the dungeon with you and effectively boost yourself. Now the character will be scaled down, but his item level will still be proportionately higher, so if you have a well-geared max level character, he's still not going to have much of a problem killing all of these mobs. Now, I'm using a Demon Hunter here to boost a Shaman, and the Demon Hunter is able to tank the entirety of these mobs, AoE them all down pretty efficiently, and never really be at any true risk of death. Now, of course, in order to do this, you are going to need two people, yourself and someone to either boost you or someone that you are boosting, but you are going to be very efficiently leveling doing this. If you don't have a max level character, you can attempt this with simply a tank and other characters that are the right level. However, of course, it's going to be considerably more difficult to achieve. But if you are using this method as I show here, I was able to get these runs down to about 3 minutes a run. And in the late level 20s, I was getting about 17 to 20% experience on the Shaman per run. It does vary slightly depending on how many mobs you pull in the AoE pack. But either way, you are looking at a lot of experience. Now, in order to be able to queue this way, what you're going to need to do is have your lower level character be the party lead. You are going to want to have them visit Chromie and use Chromie time to go to the Cataclysm expansion. This is going to allow them to queue for this dungeon as it is listed under the Cataclysm expansion, as are all of the original somewhat classic dungeons. And then you are going to want to use party sync on that character to scale down the high level character to be able to queue with you. From there you simply go into the dungeon and follow the instructions that we've already laid out. Now at the time of recording, a rather strange bug did occur for me about 1 in every 5 times, which was that while you shouldn't have to kill Lord Incendius to get the dungeon completion, Phineas Darkfire should be enough. For some reason, I did have to kill Lord Incendius on about 2 or 3 of the 10 runs that I did in order to be able to get that dungeon completion experience. It's not much of an issue, it's just worth noting so you don't end up leaving the dungeon without getting your bonus experience given to you. Now, the final point of note here is going to be that of course you are going to be limited by the number of instances you are allowed to do in an hour. But of course, if you don't want to spam through everything instantly, you are more than capable of doing another method, or you are able to simply just wait out and do this at a later date when your instance lockout has reset. But if you are looking for something that you can be doing in the meantime, then we'll move on to number 2 tip. Now, our second tip is going to be that we are going to be doing pet battles. And these pet battles are going to be quite specific in nature in that we're going to be using them for the experience, which means that we are going to be wanting to farm wild pet battles where the battle difficulty is quite easy and where you are able to get non-stop battles. Now, the area that I'm showing here is in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms in Pandaria, but there are many areas that you can use, and all you're going to want to do is find one of these locations, set up a team that can easily defeat the wild pets, and then simply just do pet battles as normal. Now, this works incredibly well for experience. As you can see here, in my late level 20s, early level 30s, I am getting about 3,500 experience per pet battle, and with the right setup, you can get these pet battles down to less than a minute per battle. I'm not that efficient or well set up for use of pets, but even with what I had lying around when I went to go and record this footage, I was able to take these battles down pretty easily and just spam from one to another. This is great for use in your downtime when you are using method number 1, so you can be doing something while you are on cooldown for an instance. Given that the changes came in the pre-patch for the leveling brackets of the zones, you can get here as early as level 10. If you have the appropriate level pets, you will be able to do this method from level 10. However, it is worth noting that I haven't been able to test the scaling fully for all of the levels, because I am leveling this character and I wanted to get this information out to you before it may well get nerfed. And as a result, I do not currently have a character at every stage of the leveling process. From what I've been able to tell, it does drop slightly as a percentage value per battle completed, but not dramatically, meaning that this is an efficient method to use from level 10 all the way to level 50. Now, the final point that I want to mention is going to be item level scaling. Now, there are many ways I've found so far where items can be acquired at a low level that are proportionally stronger than what you should have at that level. The example I've got here for you is from a Warlords of Draenor mission table mission, where I acquired a ring at level 40 item level, but at this point the items that I would be getting from quests and such are more around the 20 or so item level. I found that this was something I was able to repeat with another character, and I was always getting an item level 40 item level, which if you're getting this in the early stages, let's say for example to do method 1 and you want the gear to be able to be more efficient in your farming, then you are able to get something that is going to be quite powerful for those early levels, meaning you're going to be able to do a lot of damage and level much quicker if you're able to secure yourself quite a few of these pieces. Now, I imagine that it works very well for getting these higher item level pieces with any sort of token that you simply right click to turn into a piece of gear, providing you are able to acquire them. The only other method that I found so far that has been reliable is certain quests, particularly ones in Legion. I found that the end of zone quests that you got the completion of a dungeon in order to complete did give item level 50 pieces of gear regardless of what level I was myself, which does of course then in turn mean that you are able to kill mobs considerably quicker if you acquired a few of them, because you will have roughly level 45-ish gear at whatever level you are at the time that you're able to acquire them. But that's going to about do it for today's video, guys. I do hope that at least some of these tips were useful to you. If they were, then please let me know down in the comments below. If there's any more that you think that I've missed that would have been appropriate for this video, let me know that too. And as always, guys, I hope to see you in the next one. Later.